What's more dangerous than standing on top of a streetlight during New Year's celebrations? Grabbing the electrical wires when you slip. That's right, we've got a story about a Stanford graduate who wanted to welcome the millennium with a bang and ended up conducting more than just the countdown. Oh, hello everyone, welcome to Wow Amazing. In this video, we will go through our volume 17 of top 10 most stupid Darwin Award winners. But before we begin, we would like you guys to subscribe to Wow Amazing and hit the notification bell so you do not miss out on amazing and entertaining content that will surely get you amazed. Now get ready because this volume is absolutely packed with tales that'll make you question humanity's survival as a species. Number 10, the slippery slope. Let's begin our countdown with a reminder that granite is used for polished countertops for a reason. It's extremely slippery when wet. It's January 2008 in Sweden, and two bad guys have just completed a profitable early morning raid on a gymnasium east of Stockholm. Everything was going according to plan until a janitor spotted them, and they ran away into the early morning darkness. Facing imminent capture, they made a split-second decision that seemed brilliant at the time. Take a shortcut down a 55-foot rock cliff to make their escape. Three critical facts escaped their consideration in this moment of panic. First, it was pitch black. Given Sweden's northern latitude, the sun wasn't even thinking about rising yet. Second, it had rained during the night, coating every surface with a slick layer of moisture. Third, and most critically, eastern Sweden is known for its granite cliffs, the same material used for those glossy kitchen countertops you can slide dishes across. The danger of wet granite is well known to locals, but apparently not to our would-be escape artists. Imagine this. Trying to descend a slab of polished granite, in the rain, in the dark, while carrying stolen goods. This is a task best left to mountain goats, not humans hoping to survive until morning. In short, one of our burglars slipped and fell head over heels to his death, bringing new meaning to the crack of dawn. His worldly riches were found scattered around his body, a proof to the fact that some shortcuts lead directly to an early grave. So the next time you're tempted to take the quick way down a cliff, remember our Swedish friend, and perhaps take the stairs instead. Number 9, not fast enough food. What's scarier than a lion? What's more terrifying than a tiger? How about a combination of both? For our next Darwin Award winner, the answer came in the form of a liger, the largest known cat in the world. It's October 2008 in Oklahoma, and 32-year-old Peter G. is working as a volunteer at Safari's Animal Sanctuary in Broken Arrow. With previous experience as a Tulsa zookeeper, Peter had a gift for connecting with animals and a huge heart. A perfect volunteer, right up until the liger incident. Ligers, for those unfamiliar, are hybrids, the sterile offspring of a male lion and a female tiger. Like mules, they cannot reproduce, but unlike mules, they grow to enormous size and maintain all the predatory instincts of their impressive parents. Rocky, the liger in question, was known affectionately as a big baby around the sanctuary, but even big babies have big teeth and powerful jaws, especially when they're the largest cats on the planet. The wildlife sanctuary manager had one golden rule. In all my years, we've stressed that whatever you do, don't open that gate. And you know what? Peter opened that gate. For reasons that died with him, he violated the cardinal rule and entered the liger cage during feeding time. Instead of delivering the animal's meal, he became an appetizer for the hungry carnivore. Although he managed to drag himself out of the cage before becoming the main course, the injuries proved fatal, and he died in the hospital that very night. Peter was loved and will be missed, but he was aware of the dangers posed by captive wild animals. By ignoring obvious safety rules, Peter earned his Darwin Award through a demonstration of natural selection that even the liger understood better than he did. The moral of this story? When someone tells you not to open a gate because there's a hungry predator on the other side, it's not just a suggestion. Number 8, not a shred of sense. Our next winner proves that some household chores are best left to professionals, especially when they involve industrial-strength machinery capable of reducing tree limbs to mulch. Our protagonist decided that tree trimming was a job he could handle without professional help. After all, the local equipment rental shop offered tree shredders capable of processing branches up to 8 inches in diameter. To save time, those fateful words that precede so many Darwin Awards, He positioned the shredder at the base of a great oak tree. His plan was simple: climb up, cut off branches, and drop them directly into the hopper below. The top third of the oak had been damaged by thunder lightning, and he intended to remove it completely. With the shredder running wide open, its metal teeth spinning at thousands of revolutions per minute, our homeowner climbed his ladder to the first tree branch. What happened next was a sequence of events that proves gravity always wins in the end. He stepped off the ladder, lost his balance, and fell. When paramedics arrived, they found him very dead, half in and half out of the shredder's hopper, one leg processed to the hip. The lesson here is clear: some shortcuts don't just cost time, they cost lives. And when working with equipment designed to turn solid wood into tiny pieces, perhaps standing directly above the intake isn't the most forward-thinking position. Number 7. Going to seed. Our next Darwin Award winner demonstrates that creativity, when coupled with a profound lack of understanding about basic biology, can be a deadly combination. The year was 2008, and Darren, described even by those who knew him as dumb, even for a junkie, made a discovery in the supermarket that he thought would revolutionize his drug habit: a bag labeled Birdseed 100% Poppy Seed. His reasoning followed a uniquely creative logic. 100% poppy seed must equal 100% opium. With this brilliant deduction, he saw an opportunity to bypass international drug cartels and create his own stash. He purchased the birdseed, took it home, boiled it into a thick black paste, and then proceeded to inject this concoction directly into his veins. When nothing happened, he tried a second injection. An hour later, Darren arrived unconscious at the emergency department, as sick as it is medically possible to be. His chest X-ray revealed thousands of tiny seed-like objects scattered throughout his lung fields, initially mistaken for miliary tuberculosis, so named because the TB deposits resemble millet seeds. Only after 2 weeks, when he recovered from life-threatening septicemia and multiple organ failure, did the truth emerge. While Darren survived this demonstration of creative chemistry, he subsequently died of a more conventional overdose. The moral? Just because something contains poppy seeds doesn't mean it contains usable opium. And more importantly, injecting anything not specifically designed for intravenous use is a fast track to an early grave, or at the very least a spectacular medical emergency. Number 6. Crutch meet Crotch. Sometimes Darwin Awards go to those who aren't killed by their actions, but suffer consequences so severe that their genes are effectively removed from the pool nonetheless. Our next story takes place in November 2007 in Russia, where Edward had broken into the apartment of a 30-year-old handicapped man. The robbery was going smoothly. Edward had collected the valuables and was preparing to leave when his victim suddenly woke up. "I couldn't believe my eyes," recalled the burglary victim. "The dark shape of some goon was standing next to my nightstand. I cried out and he attacked me, who was defenseless, with his fists. I had no choice. I hit him between the legs with my crutch and he leapt out the window." The handicapped part of handicapped man did not, evidently, mean defenseless. The victim continued, "Thank God I live on the first floor, and he did not die from the fall. I didn't understand at first what had fallen out of his pants. When I looked closer, I realized that it was a testicle, a man's testicle. I put it in cold water and rushed to the phone. What followed was a series of incredulous emergency operators. The doctors hung up on me when I told them I had ripped a burglar's balls off. Half an hour later, a passerby found the blood-covered thief and called the police. An unconscious man was lying on the sidewalk," said the police investigator. When the medics revived him, he started screaming hysterically, "Give me back my balls." Edward's injuries were so severe that doctors had to amputate his entire scrotum to prevent gangrene. From his hospital bed, the burglar filed a complaint against his victim, declaring, "I will never forgive him." The lesson? If you're planning a life of crime, perhaps avoid victims who look easy to rob but are armed with mobility aids that double as effective weapons of self-defense. Number 5. 4 great ideas. Our next Darwin Award winner demonstrates that outsmarting the police requires more than just 4 terrible ideas executed in rapid succession. It's March 25, 2007 in Oregon, and 20-year-old Anthony has just been stopped for speeding. Unfortunately for him, the vehicle he's driving checks out as stolen in Idaho. The deputy calls for backup and places Anthony in a patrol car while they sort things out. This is where Anthony has his first great idea. While the officers have their backs turned, He manages to move his handcuffed hands from behind his body to the front, a painful but not impossible maneuver for those with flexible shoulders. His second great idea? Wiggle through the small windows separating the back and front seats of the patrol car. His third great idea? Drive off in the patrol car, despite being surrounded by state police officers and deputies from 2 counties. Naturally, Anthony wishes to elude pursuit. He accomplishes this temporarily by driving 90 miles per hour, passing some cars and forcing others off the road. As he rapidly approaches the city of Lakeview, he encounters spike strips placed in his path by the police. But not even flat tires slow our intrepid escape artist. He maintains control of the disabled vehicle and continues his flight from justice. We'll never know what Anthony might have done had he reached Lakeview. Just before the city limits, a state policeman follows standard procedure and rams the rear quarter panel of the stolen police cruiser, a maneuver designed to spin and slow the vehicle. But due to the flat tires and Anthony's erratic driving, the patrol car spins off the road and rolls. Anthony's final mistake? He had neglected to fasten his seatbelt. He was thrown from the vehicle and died a week later. Whether or not he managed to learn anything during that final week of reflection, one hopes that others will take the lesson to heart. Stealing a police car while in police custody is unlikely to improve your legal situation. Number 4, human popsicle. Sometimes Darwin Award winners freeze their genetic contributions to humanity in the most literal way possible. It's January 2000 in Ohio, and the Los Angeles Police Department has contacted local authorities about a missing truck driver and his load of broccoli. 4 days after the initial report, the stalled truck is located and towed to a local mechanic. After thawing and refueling the vehicle, mechanics discover that, apart from an empty gas tank, the truck has no mechanical issues. The driver's personal effects and 7 bricks of marijuana are found in the cab, but the driver himself remains missing. Both the trucking company and police are curious about the whereabouts of the errant driver, and a search begins. It doesn't take long before a patrolman notices something unusual protruding from between the pallets of broccoli, a pair of human feet. The broccoli is unloaded as quickly as possible in the frigid Ohio winter, revealing a macabre sight: the frozen body of the driver standing precisely upside down, attached to the floor of the trailer by his head. Space heaters are brought in to thaw the corpse, which eventually is pried from the floor. When it comes time to load the body into a rescue squad vehicle, they discover that his frozen arm is sticking out at such an angle that the body won't fit through the door. The solution? Turn the corpse on its side for transport. The Cuyahoga County Coroner's Office determined that the man was attempting to retrieve a stash of cocaine hidden between the pallets of broccoli when he fell and knocked himself unconscious. In the unheated trailer, he quickly succumbed to hypothermia in the icy air. Perhaps he should have confined his drug smuggling activities to the more clement climate of California, or at least remembered to keep his gas tank full while transporting perishable goods, including himself. Number 3, sand surfing. Our next Darwin Award winner shows that some forms of recreation should remain strictly theoretical, particularly when they involve roads, moving vehicles, and alcohol. It's November 25, 2000 in Australia during the Spring Nationals Country Festival in Shepparton. A celebration truck is driving noisily down Main Street at a sedate pace of 5 miles per hour, with revelers climbing all over it. The sight of this slow-moving party vehicle gives a visitor from Cranbourne a bright idea. He decides to surf along behind the truck. Decked out in a large Mexican hat, with a can of beer in one hand and a rope attached to the back of the truck in the other, our protagonist begins sliding along the surface of the road on a piece of cardboard. He's having the time of his life, right up until the rope catches beneath the truck and he's pulled under the wheels. If becoming a human speed bump isn't tragic enough, the local newspaper immortalizes the incident with a front-page photo showing the body in a body bag, with the Mexican hat placed poignantly beside it. The lesson here is clear. Road surfing, like many activities that combine alcohol, physics, and poor judgment, is best left to the imagination rather than actual practice. Number 2, shocking fall. It's January 1st, 2000 in Nevada, and 26-year-old Todd, a Stanford graduate, has decided that the best way to ring in the new millennium is from an elevated position. Minutes before midnight, he climbs to the top of a streetlight in front of the Paris Las Vegas Hotel and waves to the enthusiastic revelers below. As the clock strikes midnight and celebrations erupt, Todd loses his footing. In an effort to break his fall, he grabs the wires supplying electricity to the streetlight. Suddenly, he's conducting more than just a cheering crowd. A camera captures his foolhardy climb and subsequent headfirst plunge to the concrete 30 feet below. Medical examiners were unable to determine whether electrocution or the fall was the primary cause of death. But either way, Todd earned the dubious distinction of being the first Darwin Award recipient of the new millennium. When celebrating historical moments, perhaps keep your feet on the ground and your hands away from exposed electrical wiring. Number 1, Crappy Driving Award. Our top Darwin Award winner proves that some ends are not just untimely, but exceedingly unpleasant. It's October 9th, 1999 in Maine, and 23-year-old Benjamin is driving his 1998 Mazda pickup much too fast to navigate the sharp right turn in front of the local wastewater treatment plant. Police speculated that he was exceeding the speed limit by a generous margin, as his momentum carried him through a chain-link fence, across an easement, and through a low post and rail fence surrounding a 400,000-gallon tank of raw sewage. Divers later located his body beside his upright pickup on the bottom of the 16-foot-deep tank. The autopsy failed to provide a conclusive cause of death, but we speculate they will find he died from taking too much crap. In a related event from March 2000 in Pennsylvania, a man named Andrew died in a messy farming accident at Crooked Creek Farm when he slipped into a manure spreader. Rescue crews failed to revive him, and who can blame them? The cause of death was determined to be blunt force trauma. So remember, folks, when it comes to driving near waste treatment facilities or operating farm equipment near manure, perhaps slowing down isn't just a good idea, it's a life-preserving one. Bonus entry. What's that ringing? Our bonus entry reminds us that railway crossing gates and warning signals aren't optional suggestions but life-saving devices. It's March 4th, 2000 in California, and the Silicon Valley is dealing with its usual traffic congestion. At a railway crossing, a line of cars waits patiently for a train to pass, held back by the crossing gate, flashing red lights and ringing warning bells. But Sivenga isn't interested in waiting. In what witnesses described as an arrogant, "I am more important than God himself" maneuverer, she speeds ahead of the line of waiting vehicles and attempts to drive around the crossing gates. Despite the ringing bells and flashing red lights, warnings that normally stop reasonable people, Sivenga continues her ill-fated journey directly into the path of an oncoming train. The resulting collision kills her instantly and injures 3 of her family members. When railway crossing barriers are down and warning signals are active, they're not challenging you to find a creative way around them. They're telling you that tons of unstoppable metal are heading your way at high speed, and perhaps you should wait your turn. And there you have it, 10 plus 1 of humanity's finest moments of poor decision-making. Also, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next episode, where we'll bring you more tales of evolution in action. And if you know someone who could use a lesson in common sense, share this video with them. You might just save a life. As always, stay smart, stay safe, and remember, Darwin is watching. This is Wow Amazing. Signing off until next time.